Yeah. Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Singapore Geospatial Festival 2021, an event that brings the international geospatial community together for co-located activities promoting the use of location-based and mapping innovation. So this event is organized by GeoWorks, Singapore Land Authority's Geospatial Industry Center. So today we are excited to introduce today's webinar on the Finnish sustainable solutions for the built environment. So if you have any questions during the webinar, please leave them in the Q&A chat box, and then we will answer them at the end of the webinar. So thank you, and without further ado, I will hand over to the first speaker. We have Irma from Helsinki Business Hub. So I'll hand it over to you, Irma.
So thank you very much, Simin, and I'm really pleased to be here, and I'm giving you a little bit information about the city as a platform for new innovations. First, a few words about Helsinki Business Hub. So my name is Irma Ylikangas, and I work as a senior business advisor with the Helsinki Business Hub, which is an international trade and investment promotion agency of Finland. We help foreign companies to set up their businesses, grow and develop in Helsinki, and our services are free of charge. We work with several areas like ICT, smart and clean, and health. And I can see that when we talk about geospatial data, there's a lot of ICT and digitalization involved, but also a lot about smart cities and so on, what we will hear more about the Finnish speakers later after my presentation. So if you're a company and you're looking for information or connections from Finland, business opportunities, piloting opportunities in Helsinki region, we would be happy to help you. For investors, we have about 1,000 Finnish companies in our register who are looking for investments. So if you're looking at deal flow in any areas from ICT, smart and clean, or health, or any other topics, please contact us and we would be happy to share you about the company information. And startups, we do facilitate several types of workshops and also investor events, so we welcome you to participate all of these events. So first, a little bit about Helsinki and Finland. We are not that far from Singapore, only 11 and a half hours. So there are direct flights from Singapore. Currently, I think they are not necessarily operating daily, but we hope when we get rid of this COVID situation, we can have the daily flights back to Singapore. So just step in a Finnair flight and you will be within half a day in Finland. So pretty close for you. And for a little bit background about Finland and Singapore, as we share about the same number of population, but as land area, we are a little bit different size there. But if we look about the smart city and smart city development, Singapore is number 1 ranked and Finland is number 2. So that is really, I think we are very close for each other, both for population and also in the smart cities. And maybe a little bit more challenges for land and density in Singapore than in Finland. But anyway, we both have a lot of similarities. And of course, we both like technologies. The temperature is probably only one which differs us today. So even today we have like 12 Celsius degrees, and I guess you probably have 32 in Singapore. But it can get as cold as -30 in Finland. So this is a very good test place for testing any technological things outdoors to see really the effect. I also want to share you with one thing about the Finnish culture and one Finnish word, which is called sisu. Sisu means actually an unwavering strength to keep going when the going gets tough. So people are really tough, even that tough to jump into the cold ice water in the winter. But this means also that in businesses, we have strength and we wish to work very well with all around the world. And we do what we promise we do also. Some interest and trends, what I see as similarities with Singapore and Finland. Of course, we have smart cities, intelligent estates, smart mobility, circular economy, which are also very, very much interesting in both cities. And even more, the digitalization, sustainability, carbon-free, and energy efficiency. We both also do like to do co-innovation and piloting and engaging citizens to this. And we share a lot of technologies like 5G, 6G, cybersecurity, robotics, and quantum computing. I also want to mention you a few national initiatives in Finland for the digital built environment. So there's actually a reform of the Land Use and Building Act currently going on in Finland, where new legislation is set to promote digitalization, carbon neutrality, and also life cycle thinking. Another quite interesting issue when we talk about the geospatial data is that the whole Finland will be laser scanned in coming years. It has already started. And so there would be even single buildings, 3D images available to use for municipalities for data use or some citizens for deciding, for example, where to install solar panels if wanted. And Finland is, of course, one of the European leaders in digitalization, like overall. And what is really needed in here is also that we share a lot of open data, and that goes for the cities. I'm going to go more in detail a little bit about that. Also, Finland has strongholds like in cybersecurity, which is, of course, very, very important when dealing with the data and sharing the data. And then also, as a Nokia heritage, we have a great mobile device know-how overall. And how can cities help to build up the society or the applications for the companies and the R&D institutes? Helsinki actually wants to be the world's most functional city in future, but currently we are. What is really unique in Finland, that the city has opened the data to be open to anybody who wish to develop applications or solutions on the top of that. The city official chief digital officer says that the digitalization is not only for the sake of digitalization, but to build a better cities for the citizens and help people's everyday lives and make it easier. So there is a webpage which shares about Helsinki Metropolitan area data for you. So this is freely available for anybody to look for build up applications or so on. So for example, like there are housing part, education part, construction environment, where you can find free data sets to be developing issues on the top of that. Here are some examples. For example, there's energy consumption data of City of Helsinki utilities and service properties, housing production in the Helsinki region, also some stormwater sewerage areas. And while looking for these data sets, you can also see what kind of form this data is available. So I can encourage you to have a look if there would be something interested you would like to work further on. We also have a map service of City of Helsinki, where you can easily choose the language for English and look more in details what kind of plans there are. And map service information, there is a new 3D statistic map for functionalities. For example, you can see where have the traffic accidents happened for already from 1970s in Helsinki. So this helps really on the city planning and other issues. So there's a bunch of these to have a look and to see if that would help you to develop any applications from that. So City not only offers the data, but it also wants to use City as a platform for testbed and piloting opportunities. So City of Helsinki opened a webpage called testbed.helsinki, where Helsinki offers open opportunities for companies to come and suggest certain pilots. The substance areas where this is heading to is EdTech, built environment, health and well-being, and smart mobility. Those areas you are free to suggest any piloting in Helsinki. There are also open challenges to looking for some solutions for certain specific challenges in the city. which might be open for 2 to 3 months. I know that Singapore is very well known about the challenges, how to participate them as such. But anyway, if you are working in built environment or health well-being, smart mobility, or edtech, you are very pleased to come and suggest your piloting to be run in Helsinki. I show you a little bit about the area of Helsinki and give you a few words about that. So Pasila is one area which is mainly for office building as such. There's also a detailed 3D city model in use and also digital twins, and several like environmental data is also shared by 5G networks. So these are kind of the areas where our opportunities for testing different things. Maria 01 is one of the leading startup campuses in the Nordics, which gathers together like startups, investors, companies, and so on. And also Kira Hub, which is one very good example about how to combine different construction data together with the construction companies, R&D, and so on. So they accelerate the digitalization of the built environment sector. That is their home also in the Maria 01 startup campus. Third one is Smart Autonomy, which concentrates about energy issues. So if there's some specific energy linkage for maybe geospatial data, I'm sure they would be interested to hear about the piloting or offer some piloting opportunities for you. Then Jätkäsaari goes more about the mobility side, and this place is beside the sea, and there's also a very active harbor between Tallinn and Helsinki. So this is the hub for the smart mobility piloting part. And last but not least, this Smart Kalasatama is a vivid experimental innovation platform to create smart and urban infrastructure. So one of the focus areas has been to develop the digital twin of Kalasatama and especially bring some environmental modeling of urban areas into this picture. So Kalasatama also engaged a lot of citizens to participate in this development. And there's a new challenge also open in Kalasatama, or actually it will be open about 2 weeks from now. So this is to pilot, would you like to map urban plant life? If you are interested about this challenge, please contact me and I will share you more information. Also in the VDBE World Digital Built Environment Summit, which will take place on the 28th and 29th of September in Finland, we will have a sharing session there about this challenge in mapping the urban plant life. So they want to engage residents to collect the data about the green areas of the city. So you can join the challenges, you can suggest piloting and use at the city as a platform. So if you need more information, I would be happy to help you. And here are some podcasts about Helsinki and videos about it. And feel free to contact me if you want to pilot in Helsinki or if you want to set up your company in Helsinki or any other issues. I would be happy to help you. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Irma. So now we have our next speaker, Merit, from Maptionnaire. So I'll hand it over to you, Merit.
Thank you, Simin. Just give me one second to open my presentation. So hello, everyone. My name is Maarit Kahila, and I come from the team Maptionnaire. So as all of you know, cities are growing rapidly around the world and getting also much more complex systems to manage and handle. Also, megatrends like green transition and digitalizations are taking place in our cities. So therefore, we have to think carefully how we want to communicate with people, how we want to do collaboration and engagement in order to take care of this changing environment of us. Currently, how community engagement is very often done looks like this. So we gather a bunch of people to some event, and then we try to communicate with them face to face. On the other hand, the data often looks like this. So we gather a bunch of post-it stickers, which are then quite hard to transfer further, or analyze. These are the two challenges we have wanted to approach when designing Maptionnaire. So we have to think that we don't reach with these traditional means that I just explained, we don't reach anymore the people, and we don't reach them, but also we are not able to do this type of collaboration and community engagement efficiently with these ways. So, and it's a good question why we keep doing this work like this, even though the world today is very digital. Everyone has their phone in their hand when they wake up and when they go to sleep. It's also very instant and rapid. We want things to happen quickly. And at the same time, also collaboration, community engagement are getting more and more important themes around the world. So from this premise, we have wanted to ask the question that how to realize smarter community engagement and public participation. Now, for 10 years, we have designed and developed further a service called Maptionnaire. And Maptionnaire is a community engagement platform. It's a SaaS service, it's mobile responsive, and it's based on browser technology. And what Maptionnaire allows you to do is to design and create different kinds of community engagement, participation, communication tools for your project needs and for different phases of your project. It includes a set of modules, and those vary in terms of the question types. And for example, if you want to bring in a 3D model of the house or from the living environment, you can integrate that also with Maptionnaire. So maps and geographical information is a lot in the center of Maptionnaire. And this is not an idea or sort of recent innovation. As I mentioned, we have been there already now for 10 years. And with Maptionnaire, we have enabled our community to create over 10,000 projects. And customers we have at the moment in over 35 countries. We work a lot with private sector representatives, and then also with public sector representatives, and also a lot with the research centers and universities. And the use cases vary a lot. So built environment is kind of the central theme that glues these all different use cases together. So there is a lot of projects done in the field of urban planning and design, and that's like the originally where we come from. A lot of projects related to transportation and mobility, energy related projects, for example, renewable energy projects are there quite many, parks and recreation, infrastructure. Then also Maptionnaire allows you to go inside the building. So those projects are done together with real estate owners, for example. Sustainability and nature environment are also topics we see more and more coming at the moment. And now I thought it would be nice to show you a little bit that what kind of data, and especially what kind of geographical data you can collect with Maptionnaire. This is one project we did together with the city of Helsinki. And here the experts, the urban planners and designers and various experts, they were actually around 15 from the city of Helsinki. They wanted to know how walkable is the city center. So together with them in this project, we designed a questionnaire, and then that was open for 1 month. And during that 1 month, they gathered responses from 1,600 respondents. And this is how the data looks like. So here you see now 2 maps. With the blue color, you see the everyday routes people have drawn by themselves. And here I want to emphasize that they have really drawn the routes. So we haven't used any tracking devices or nothing like that. And why we don't do that is because that we want to always ask additional questions. So instead of just tracking the most used route, we want to know for what purpose they have used the route and how they have experienced and perceived that route. So here you see with the blue color the everyday routes, and then with the green color the recreational routes. And it's also, I'm a geographer from origin, so I always find these two maps very interesting because they are so different, and those indicate well how differently we use the built environment and our living environment. And then, of course, we also ask that why people choose these routes. And of course, if we think the everyday routes, those are selected because those are quick, rapid, take you to the work, take you to the daycare easily and quickly. Whereas the recreational routes are chosen because the nature is close, there are beautiful buildings, and you feel more relaxed. And then we also in this question, we wanted to understand where are the unpleasant places. And those are now marked with the orange color on top of the map. And we have actually zoomed in to the center of Helsinki. So where you have most of the orange dots, there is the main railway station located in the very city center of Helsinki. So, and then we wanted to study that how these unpleasant places, whether those are located to what kind of routes are then there. And we found that most of the unpleasant places were on top of the everyday routes people have drawn. And this was, of course, quite interesting result because if we think that the built environment, the living environment, it should make us feel energetic, and it should bring health and well-being. And if these are the routes we take every day, and if these doesn't work that way, it's a good question, and we should be, of course, worried of this result. And yeah, and also then people shared ideas and comments that what routes should be changed, fixed, redesigned, and then also they marked highlights of the route. And quite often we are asked that, is it beneficial to use Maptioner, and what are the benefits? And for example, from this project, I can tell you that the urban planners and the experts in the city, they decided to prioritize the coming project in the city center area differently, because the data allowed them to see where are the challenges at the moment and where are the places people are most worried. So it was very useful for them and helped them to kind of think how to change the living environment in the future in the city center of Helsinki. So I think this is my last slide. I just want to encourage you all to build better cities in the future, and especially think how we can do this together with local people and with other experts. Thank you for your time.
Yep. Thanks, Marit. Yeah, so next up we have another speaker called Juka from Eins Group. So Juka, I'll hand it over to you. Thank you.
Hello, thank you very much, Simin and Marit, for a great presentation. So my name is Jukka Kettunen. I'm coming from Eins Group and the founder of Cityfire tool and architect. And let's see if yeah. Starting with megatrends we all are aware and goals for the sustainable environment. We know that we need to cut those CO2 emissions. There's a huge transformation in our transportation systems towards walkable and cyclable environments, and also the value of local services is increasing. These all are packed into this so-called 15-minute cities concept that has been well known during the COVID, especially through the for example, the C40 Cities climate leadership group throughout the world and has received a lot of attention. So what is this 15-minute cities all about? Many of the stakeholders, of course, are worried about the effect. Does it only raise costs, or does it create any value for the property sector, for example? And therefore, I have here an example 10 years back from Times Square, New York, where they did this, I would say, one of the first projects towards 15-minute cities, a transformation of the area. And the results are quite convincing when looking back, like the commercial area was increased by 40%. Due to that, property values increased 18%. And of course, the biggest impact was the reduction of the air pollution, -60. So quite convincing. But then coming back to our suburbs and more everyday life in all the growing cities, there are some pains in the new residential areas. And here is an example from Finland, from Vantaa-Kivistö, where this new suburb coming up. There is a train rail already running, but the local services are still missing. And that is causing problems to the new residents in the area, of course, but also the housing prices are going down at the moment. So that was one of the reasons why we started to study that what can we do about this process, and can be there any new services taking advantage of the open data, and especially the regression model what we created by using urban economics. So Cityfire is analyzing the future value of 15-minute cities. It's a unique AI model where we combine city master plans and urban economics. And with that, we can predict the value development of properties and areas up to 20 years. And how can we do it? Here is a graph showing an example of that regression model that we have created. So what we do, we use the proximity of private and public services, for example, the nurseries, schools, grocery stores, along with the information about the public transport, like train or bus stops. And the results can be used by many stakeholders, cities, developers, and also the property owners for better returns. We started our journey 2017 at SLUS, where we won the first prize at a local BizHack competition. And after that, we have done projects in Finland so far with the major cities and also with the landowners and construction companies, and doing constantly new research with our partners like Aalto University. And why we are here today, we are very interested to find new partners to scale our business abroad. And as you can see here, Helsinki is there, a small dot in the middle, but the Singapore on the right-hand side, one of the high digital maturity cities in the world, and also growing. The market, of course, is much bigger. And what we can offer is our license service for your use, and also tailored project service for scenario planning. And here is an example of one of our results, one of our case studies in Finland, a typical example where we studied the new master plan to the Malmi airport area, where there will be around 20,000 new city residents and around 2,000 jobs. And what we did, analyzed these plans and found that there is actually a so-called mid area missing, hasn't received attention, and found that with some minor changes in the planning, we can gain 30 million euros for the city of Helsinki, finding from the new residential plot sales in revenue. So quite a good result from that project. And if I have time, yes, I have a few minutes, I will share my video showing how our license service is working at the moment. So please enjoy. So that was the end of my presentation. I hope you enjoyed and got aware of our service. So thank you very much. I'm happy to answer any questions later on if needed. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jukka. So next up we have Jaco from XD Visuals. So Jaco, I'll hand it over to you. Thank you.
Hello everybody. So my name is Jarkko Sireni. I'm a founder and CEO of XD Visuals. We are developing a digital twin for urban development. And on the right-hand side, you can see one picture of the digital twin of Helsinki, which includes a lot of different kind of aspects of urban development. So we combine all of these different aspects together and make this urban development easily to manage and helping that way to build a better future. So what XD Twin is basically a platform for managing urban information. We talk about urban information modeling. What it means that first of all, you need to have a good information management in every urban development project. And the information that we can combine is very comprehensive. We can combine city models, buildings, infrastructure, GIS information, survey information, IoT information, and in the end we will get information model that contains all urban disciplines and all life cycle phases. Another important aspect of urban development is collaboration. There is no successful project without good collaboration. We have developed very good tools for internal collaboration, managing different kind of ideas, discussion and commenting, everything happening inside the models. And we also have external collaboration tools so that we can publish these design models to the public and collect feedback from the citizens, so we can get citizen participation workflow working also in the projects. We also have augmented reality and virtual reality, which are very nice add-on into this collaboration. And one key element in collaboration is that it has to work for everybody. It has to be easily accessible. So this solution is working on any smart device, anywhere, anytime, and very fast. So you can get information about the project very easily. The third phase in urban development is, of course, the actual construction. And for the construction project, we can manage the construction task, but also get the time aspect for the construction project. So we can virtually build the construction project before the actual construction, and that will help you automate, optimize, simulate the construction, and this way reduce risk, reduce cost, reduce time, and you can also use augmented reality on site with this solution. We support massive data sets and we allow unlimited users so that we can get this accessible to everybody. Here is some example how you start building your project. The workflow is quite easy. First of all, we have a 3D model of the whole world. So you can start your project anywhere in the world. In here, I take a video from Singapore, so we can instantly see the existing buildings and existing roads and everything in Singapore. After that, you can also import your local city model. So maybe your city has a more accurate model of the city. Here is a very accurate 3D model of the Helsinki city model, and you can import this also into your project background. Then when you have the city model in place, it's very easy to add your project in the city. You can just drag and drop. For example, here are some high-rise buildings in middle Pasila area in Helsinki. You can just drag and drop it in the correct place, or you can use accurate coordinates, and so you get the millimeter accuracy of your project data. You can add different kind of models. You can add this kind of area planning models which show you kind of the overall area plan of a big new area. For example, this is the Kalasatama area plan model from Helsinki. You can add BIM models, very accurate BIM models of the buildings. So it can be the structural model, architectural model, or even the MEP model of the building you can import here. And what is benefit here is that you can see the BIM model combined with the city model, so you can instantly analyze how the design fits to the surroundings and what kind of elevations and everything is surrounding the building model. So you are not building the project in the empty world. But not only BIM models for buildings, but also the infrastructure. So if you have a street project or a pipe network project, you can import also this data together. And this is beneficial when you checking, for example, connections from the building to the city networks. Then you can make sure that the connections are in correct place. And overall, adding the BIM models together plus then adding GIS information together will bring you very useful information platform for your project. So you are not only focusing on BIM or GIS. Here is, for example, the City of Helsinki traffic noise information, nature protection areas in different places. These are the actual quite real-time data about the current situation of construction, active construction, and this is active road construction, temporary traffic arrangement, but also information for sustainability. For example, here is the calculation of green building potential in the Helsinki city, air quality information in the city. So here you can see that what is the air quality close to these planned buildings, and traffic pollution information, where do you get most NO2 emission from the traffic. And this information is made easily available for the city planners so that city planners can take this easily in account in making better city plans. You can make different kind of analysis. The sunlight analysis is very, very easy to do, to see these high-rise buildings, how they shadow the surroundings. But sunlight analysis can be used also, for example, solar energy analysis. Here I'm using actually the Singapore city model and analyzing and looking for different rooftops where I can put solar panels. I can even draw the solar panels to the roof. And after I draw the solar panels to the roof, I can then run the shadow analysis and check how many hours per day I get sunlight to the solar panel. Very easy application. Citizen participation is always important. You can publish your models to the citizens, and the citizens can give you different kind of feedback. So this kind of a 3D model-based feedback collection and different kind of smileys, different kind of questionnaires, and you can collect exactly the feedback what you want from the project in different areas. You can also go on site with augmented reality. Here we are looking at the Pasila Trigoni Towers with augmented reality on site. You can see instantly your location with the GPS, and once you go on site, you can also look with the mobile phone around you from your own viewpoint, and this will also combine the 3D model with the camera view so that you can see the actual effect, how the buildings are going to look like from this location. Here you can see a special mask mode what we developed, so we can put the buildings behind the existing buildings in augmented reality. I haven't seen this kind of technology in other solutions yet. Also, the time perspective is very important in city planning. The cities are developing and these kind of areas developing during the 20-year time, and you can add the schedule of the whole area plan. You can also add schedule to individual models, like in the tower plan, in which order you will build the towers. But you can go even very detailed level. The next example is a small bridge renovation model where you maybe I'll skip a bit the video, where you can see the how you're going to fix or renovate this bridge. So you can simulate where the traffic is flowing, which is the green and blue areas, and then you can also see which part of the bridge you can renovate in which order. And in the end, all of this, that open collaboration, augmented reality, virtual reality, it will increase understanding of the project. You will get better trust and acceptance for your project when you collaborate with the citizens. You can access the information faster, easier. With the construction site, when you have a construction survey data, you get the digital twin of the construction site and situational awareness. And importing the sustainability information to the project, you can make a sustainability into account in all of these projects, and in the end everything will result in better productivity, better quality, and less risk, less time and cost savings. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaco. So now we would like to introduce our last speaker, Juha from GeoForum. So I'll hand it over to you, Juha.
Okay. Thank you, Simin. I think we are running a little behind in the schedule, so I'll try to be fast with my last presentations to tell you a little about GeoForum in Finland, what it is and what we do. GeoForum was launched a year ago in September, and it's an independent and sovereign association governed by its members. The members are typically organizations that operate in the geospatial field, government organizations, municipalities, and private industry. We have 2 employees, director myself, and Elina as communication officer at the moment. We are looking for a third one to help us complete different events. The operation is based on the network that we built from our members. This model is actually copied from similar organizations in other Nordic countries. They are called GeoForums in Sweden, Norway, and Denmark, and Iceland has an organization called LISA for the same purpose. Our mission is to promote the use of spatial information and location intelligence in the society. The network develops cooperation between the geospatial industry and organization using geospatial data. So that's companies, public administration, education, and research in institutions. So that's what we aim to do. And to be quick, today I will brief you a little of the renewed Finnish national geospatial data strategy that we have been building with our members. With this strategy, the vision is that Finland will be the pioneer in utilizing spatial data to enable sustainable and smart nation. As you saw from this presentation, there's several things already going on, and with this strategy, we want to be stronger in the field. We have divided our activities into 3 programs. One is following the restructuring of governance, mainly on data and what happens on geographics data. Then we have a program on environmental challenges and a program for new business opportunities. All these programs have priority areas. The restructuring of governance, the priority is in data interoperability. Since many years, we have realized the challenge of moving the data, how the data is in different organizations, in silos, and it's modeled differently. So we need to work still on the data interoperability. The second priority area here is the national data repositories. There are several organizations maintaining national-wide data sets, and those data sets need to be renewed as they are getting old-fashioned. Actually, many of them has activities at the moment. We have activity on the geographical data, we have activity on building registers, we have activity on underground cables, and so on and so forth. And the third priority area is the adaptation of data economy. So with all this geographic data, we need to find ways that it is used. We need to open the data, both in technically and in legal terms, to find the ways to open the data to use it. The end result or the objective of the restructuring of government programs is the cost savings and improved capacity in the public services. Then when we look at the environmental challenges, the priority areas there, the first one naturally is the carbon neutral society. The challenge is there, everybody knows it, and what can we do with the geographic data for the challenge? We also need to focus on the biodiversity of our environment as a total, and especially in the urban areas, how the urbanization is affecting our environment. So the objectives of this program is a carbon neutral Finland, to be able to change from reacting to predicting. And we believe that the geographic information, geographic data plays a strong role here. The last program for new businesses, there the priority areas is the international growth, which we are doing at the moment, to be able to bring the Finnish know-how and the Finnish enterprises and companies to the international market. To be able to have the best products and solutions, we need to keep pushing for the competence. We need to have the education and the R&D, research and development activities. The third one is the business development as it is, to help the companies to develop their business in general. And what is the result of this third program is new businesses and new jobs in the field of geographic information. We also have found out that there are common requirements to all the activities. These requirements are 3: co-creation, data security, and positioning. With co-creation, we naturally mean the different ways for organizations to work together and foster innovation. Data security is the second common issue. The case is that we don't know for sure what are the issues with the data security. How do we find out what kind of data we can collect, what kind of data we can share, and then because we don't know these issues, it hinders us in going forward in developing things. So we need to clear that path. And the third common requirement is positioning. The new capabilities in positioning both outside and inside are really going fast at the moment. The European program, especially for positioning and to be independent in the positioning field, are strong, and we need to implement those. So this is my short brief of what we are doing in Finland and what we are looking at. And GeoForum is the cooperative body to foster the cooperation between the parties. So thank you for your interest. I hope you found this interesting, and we can move on to the question and answers. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Juha. So yeah, we have now come to the Q&A segment. If you have any questions, feel free to type in the Q&A box. Okay, if there is no further questions from the participants, if you would like to get in touch with the speakers, you may also email to geoworks@sla.gov.sg, and we will help you to link up with the speakers. So thank you all for tuning in to this webinar today. So before you go, please check out our events by scanning the QR code and also join the conversation using the hashtag SgGeoFest. So thank you, and we hope to see you again. Bye bye.